Yeah. Got some chips and some water. Sponsored by Voodoo Kettle Chips. Not really sponsored. But if y'all see this nigga, yes, you can't be these sponsorships, nigga. No. The second one was actually really, really dope.
Yeah.
It just turned out that we really wasn't compatible. Like,
damn.
There wasn't a lot of romantic element to it, but she was really, really cool.
Oh, okay.
She had the illest stories. Like, it was this chick, she's from Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, all of her stories
from Brooklyn.
let's get it. All of her stories had something to do. Like, she has one of the most hip hop lifestyles without being. Her mom owns some bookstore.
Low key.
Her mom owns some bookstore, and Talib Kweli and Most Def and all the niggas, like, she know them because they used to always be in the bookstore. When she was a little girl, Biggie used to be like, he used to live on her block, so he used to just be in the corner, like in a corner store, just buying, like, he used to buy her candy, and I was like, Biggie, I was like, this is crazy. Like, she had such ill, you know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't it. Like, you know, like I said, I felt it as well. You know, so it wasn't nothing crazy. But I was just like, it doesn't really feel super romantic. But I wasn't mad about it.
I remember you telling me about her one time.
Possibly, because this was around the time of I went to Comic-Con in the morning, and we had the date in the evening. So she was asking me about Comic-Con and everything like that, but that also really wasn't her vibe. Which we can get into later, because that is important to me these days.
Things you're interested in. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But you know, so that was that was a moment, you know, and it was cool.
So you learned that you have to be more, like, compatible in, like, the things you like.
I think that was the thing that kind of got that wheel rolling for me. And I was just like, you know
that's
what?
That's what we're trying to get to. Okay.
I would much rather date somebody that also was at Comic-Con the same day. Right. You know, I don't want it to be something where it's just like, one of my biggest concerns all the time in relationships is feeling alone. I don't like feeling I don't like feeling alone. Alone in my interests, alone in even my downtime. I don't need somebody to smother me. But also, I am one of the few people in the world that if I get some super lovey-dovey chick that wants to smother me, I'm not pushing her away. Gotcha. I appreciate that because it says a lot to me. It's like, you be seeing the memes and it be like, you want to be when she wants to be under his skin, like, nigga, like, please get under my please. I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of niggas who's gonna be like, yo, I'm trying to play the game, leave me alone. Now, what I would love also is, I don't need you to leave me alone while I play the game. Nigga, hop on the game with me. Like, let's, you know what I mean? Like, and I've only recently learned just how many, women that are into a lot of that stuff there are. Like, people don't vocalize it. Yo, I've encountered at least 3 different women in the past 3 months, I'd say. Maybe like a woman a month, maybe. That was into hip hop, video games, anime. Oh wow! Like, and I'm just like, anime? All of it. Oh wow! Because it's not to be honest, a lot of stuff is popular. Like, a lot of anime is getting super, super popular. So there's gonna be a whole lot more people. There's a whole lot more people that never liked it before. I feel like when it comes to stuff like video games, a lot of people are just starting to learn, like, well, it's not really so much that it's for kids as much as it is that it's just something enjoyable to do to kind of take your mind off of everything that's going on. And people are, at least to me, getting a little bit more self-intelligent and self-aware when it comes to stuff like that people are willing to allow anybody to do whatever it is that they want to do that's going to take, that, you know, it's just going to take them to a self-care place and take their mind off of everything that's happening outside. Yeah. So people are getting a little bit less. There's still a ton of women that will downplay a nigga for playing video games, which is weird to me, but I'm just like, hey, do your thing.
Everybody's into different things.
Exactly, because I've also met a bunch of women that's just like, yeah, What are the things you love to do? Oh, I love going to the spa. Like, my nigga, that is not fun for me. Like, it's enjoyable and it's good self-care, but for fun, I ask you what you do for fun and you name stuff like the spa. Like, this is not it for me.
I can complain so much about this right now.
This ain't it for me. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, hey, do you think my issue is? I mean, my thing is always gonna be, ain't no issue with me. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna leave that alone. Yeah. Just don't come for me and make it seem, oh, well, you some little kid. No, my nigga, I value my inner child. Yeah. And I want that nigga to think I'm cool.
I dated a guy recently. He was so into Pokemon Go, like so into it. Like, we would be out. I don't think he would see this. But
if so, who cares, my nigga? You gotta relax.
We would be out and he would pull his phone out and he'd be playing Pokemon Go because Manhattan has so much more action going on.
He OD.
And then I was dating him for a few months, and then I finally said something like, yo, when I'm with you, like, just, chill a little bit on it. And he was like, okay, I won't pick out my phone. Then he went to Puerto Rico for his birthday. I asked him, what was the highlight of your trip? And he was like, oh, Pokemon Go. He sent me these screenshots.
Nigga, I found a Pikachu on the beach. Like, yo, what?
I had fucking screenshots of the things that happened while he was.
My boy.
Like, that's what?
My boy.
That was a highlight of your Puerto Rico trip?
You wildin'.
I should have known right there that was a sign to let him go.
I was on a plane. And I turned my phone outside to look outside, and Mewtwo was flying outside the plane. I just knew, like, oh my God.
I should.
Like, my nigga, relax. Understand something. I'm not, okay, because there's two sides to that. Yeah. He needs to relax, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Fam, relax. She's not into the same thing. So because it is not necessarily a big problem, because if he doesn't have an issue with you not being into it, and you don't have an issue with you not being into it, but y'all still like each other, it's all good. Yeah. But he then needs to learn how to section off his time.
That's what so he can. That was a big argument with us.
But it also might just be, if he don't know how to section off his time, yo, fam, start making hard lines for your interests. Look for chicks that's also into Pokemon Go, so that you don't feel like you're doing this by yourself.
Exactly. And that'll be fine too.
Me too. Me too. One of my friends, she sent me this story, and she was just like, yo, everybody is clowning this guy. And she wanted to know my take on it.
Which guy?
This guy and the girl. This girl was telling a story how she went on a date with this guy. And she was like, she's never going out on a date with him again.
Oh, was it the anime story?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
And I was just like, yo, honestly though, he was wildin'. Yo, my nigga, like, I told her, I said, hey, look, my thing is always going to be, you don't let all your crazy out immediately.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
That's really what it is. Like, some of the stuff, some certain levels of weird or crazy are only acceptable after there's been a certain time limit passed between you and the person. You know what I'm saying?
I hear this.
You can be, like, I dated a girl 100%. 100%. When she's comfortable, like belching.
Okay.
Is like a lot of people. Oh, that's not lady. Like, if it was on the first date, I'd probably be like, hey, yo, like, wow. Maybe, yeah. But we were involved, and we were so involved that after a while she would be doing it, and I would laugh because now time has passed. I know you as a person, yes, but you can't give all of that the first time out. Okay. So he's sitting here doing this and trying to, I feel like I can really make one, like fireballs, and I was just like, yo, my nigga, like, you gotta relax. You can't do. I was like, yo, it's possible. If you say this, it's possible. I don't know. All I know is this: when you dating a girl, you date her for 3 years. And after 3 years, you do something like that, she gonna respond differently than if you doing that joint from the first date. Yeah. She gonna be like, man, this is not really who he is, and she'll just laugh it off. It's goofy, like, this nigga, like, whatever. But she cares about you, so it doesn't matter. You haven't given her that option yet, and you just jumping all of the crazy out. Oh, and I'm just like, you can't.
Jumped out the window.
Out the window. Like, my nigga, I could do a Rasengan. Like, bro, she don't even know what that is. First of all. For all the anime people, like, y'all know what that is. Nigga, she don't know what that is. And if she do know what that is, like, maybe her, like if she did watch it, even if she did watch anime, I'm not gonna hold you. Somebody tell me that they could do something like that. It's like I can yell like a spirit fireball in my head. I feel like I feel my hand getting hot. And like if you feel like you can do stuff like that,
no
even niggas that watch anime is like, yo, fam, keep that to yourself. You don't say stuff like that out loud. Not around people that just met you. They gonna think you crazy. They gonna think you weird.
Yeah.
And I understand it. It's not necessarily right to judge those people, but on the same token, it's like, what other response is a logical response except that's weird, my nigga. Like, relax.
Yeah, I get that.
It was strange.
You really don't let you crazy out. That's the.
A little bit, in increments. In increments. You do a little bit at a time.
Smaller.
And then before you know it, 3-4 years pass, and the person can't even argue because it's just like, nigga, I've been doing weird stuff around you for 4 years. You just ain't noticed. So now what? You stuck with me.
I'm with a weird nigga.
And it's beautiful. I love it. Yo, but you know what's crazy? Then it hits and yo, I'm with a weird nigga. By that time, she's probably done so many weird things around him that she's just like, I probably can't even judge neither because this nigga probably think I'm weird for all of the stuff that I do.
No, that's true, actually.
By this time, you're just super comfortable. And I love that for people, man. But you gotta let that weirdness out a tiny bit at a time. I got so many wild takes about stuff. I don't just let all of those out. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yo, some of the wild takes I got, people look at me and be like, yo, fam. And I'll be like, I know. This is why I only talk to God about this stuff in my apartment. This is why I don't got no roommates. I can talk out loud and just talk to God. That's whatever. I do got one more though. There's a third girl.
Oh, there's a third girl. Okay.
It's a third girl. We went out on a date. Everything was cool. Although I didn't feel no type of emotional connection. And I was like, this is probably not going to be it. But maybe I'm prejudging. Let me see if we can do a second date, whatever like that. Went on a second date. I mean, not going on a second date. I was trying to set up a second date. We were having a conversation and we were talking about our life goals. I started naming all of these different things I wanted to do in my life. And even said, well, the structure is I need to make sure that I'm, like I'm working, so I'm stacking this money so that I can take care of this debt that I have and then start this business. And then after that, I'd like to be able to do this. I'd like to do this in my life if I could. I'd like to do this. I don't have to do all of this stuff, but these are just some things I'd like to do maybe before I die.
Yeah.
And this chick was just like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh? And she was just like, people are weird. She was just like, yo, like you just got like mad goals, and like honestly, I would prefer to be with somebody that's a bit more structured. And in my head, I didn't understand that because I was just like,
happened on Married at First Sight.
But it only confused me because I was like, I have a laid out plan that I literally just laid out for you. If that's not structure, what is that? Like, so I was just like, maybe, but then I asked her, I was like, well, what are your goals? She had just got a job at Google. And she was just like, I currently don't really have any because this is my, So in my head.
Nothing more into that though?
Now, I wasn't judging, but I said to myself, there it is. So you've now reached your pinnacle. Yeah. And anybody else that hasn't reached that yet, you kind of looking at them going, well, you need to chill. I get it because you want somebody who's also maybe reached their pinnacle and is doing the thing. I like, but everybody's pace is different. Everybody's timing is different. So you can't expect freaking what's the name is the best example of that? Tabitha Brown.
Oh yeah.
Like her husband was holding her down for mad years, just doing a regular job.
Yeah.
She was trying to make acting and social media stuff and everything work. It finally popped off. She started getting all of these brands and shows and all this different stuff. And then she said, I can finally retire my husband. Because everybody pops off different.
So lovely.
She's a great, I love that woman. She is the best.
She's like a walking like I don't even know what to call her, like God. It's like a walking light. Oh,
but because of that, I'm just like, people pop off in the stuff that they want to do at different times.
Yes, and then you have to notice, like, and one thing I would say while dating someone, know that someone is in their own timeline. don't be trying to be on top of someone because they haven't reached where they need to reach.
That's a fact.
Like you reach somewhere, blah blah. You have to be okay with people just like being on their own timeline.
Because to be honest,
I know women like to eventually like help and nurture, but you have to allow the guy to really be on his own timeline.
That's a fact.
And don't nag.
That's funny. But no, like my only issue was that I felt like she was kind of looking down on me. And in my head, I was like, well, that's crazy because I can look down on you for not having no goals.
So you learned in that relationship that she was where she needed to be.
Like, yeah,
people are like, yeah.
Like, there are going to be some people who's not. I want a hustler. I am a hustler. I want somebody who reaches something and then says, yo, I still got all of these other things I want to do. To me, it's not even, you know what, let me not even say it. It's not even about being a hustler. I want someone who is that vibrant about life and that adventurous about life that they just go, I've met this goal. I have like 6 other ones though. I'm going to try to do as much as I can before I go. Because I only have one life. I only got this little bit of time that I got. So I'm going to try to make this, you know what I'm saying? Like, if there's some people who just want to get comfortable, get a spot, and then live in a home and be, you know, off the grid and safe. And that's not my life. That's not the life I want to live.
Yeah.
I want to be, like, just doing as many different things as I can.
Yeah.
And enjoying life in many different facets of it. So I want somebody who's down to do the same thing. So I just learned, I learned that. Like, all right, cool, this is what I want. You know, I'm learning more about what I want. That's really what is coming from all this.
That's what all dating fairies is about. Learning what you want after each date.
That's
learn something from each person.
That's a fact.
And I always go, like, instead of saying, okay, so that didn't work out. Okay, what did I learn from this person? How did I grow up through that little blip that they were in my life for, right? So it's so hard sometimes because we want things to work out. Yeah. It's so difficult. I always say this line on this podcast, I am not an expert, I'm just literally going through this.
Let's do it. That's a fact.
Because
ain't nobody an expert.
Right. Nobody's an expert, and there's a lot of different, people online just trying to give advice about different things, and it's really feel like you're drowning at one point because you're watching all of it. So that's why I try to be as simple as I can on this podcast. Absolutely. Oh my God. But how do you keep going through all the dating service? You're just really hopeful, I feel like.
I am. A girl asked me that actually.
Yeah.
This is a girl that I was really, really into.
Like the last time we talked, you was dating someone seriously. Low key, at the end of last year.
The end of last year. The end of last year.
Was it? And I was like, you've been super low key, and he was like, yeah, I'm dating someone, blah blah blah.
I dated this one girl.
How long did that
There's one girl we dated. I hope she don't see this. I'm not gonna say nothing bad about her because that's my homie.
She follows you on Instagram stuff.
Yeah. Yo, understand something. Most of these chicks that I stopped dating, or even some chicks, some women who've rejected me.
Yeah.
For some reason, find me entertaining enough. Yo, mad at them watch my stories. Every day. I'm talking every single day.
I'm gonna send you this clip.
And I'm just like, that's wild. But I'm also not offended by it because I'm just like, yo, maybe you just find me to be an entertaining person.
Like I said,
I say funny things sometimes in my stories. I say interesting things. I start conversations. Maybe you just like that stuff. So maybe that's what it is. But it's odd to me. It's more odd to me for the women that have rejected me. Those are the ones that I go,
okay.
Alright, but she doesn't watch my stories that much, but she sees it every so often. We do follow each other, and she's a really, really dope person. But she wasn't in the same space that I was when I first started dating her. This was a girl I dated closer to my birthday last year. Maybe that's who you were talking about.
Yes, I think so.
But she essentially, she had to deal with a whole lot of toxic characteristics that she had. A lot of.
And she didn't like flesh them out or something?
No, she didn't. And a lot of it just came up. There was one time I had picked up a shift at my job. This was kind of the first time that I knew like something was wrong. But
I'm sorry, I don't want to laugh.
No, it's funny. I picked up a shift at my job, and she thought I was lying. And I was like, I work at a restaurant, and I need to make as much money as possible. Trust me. She thought I was not, but that's also because she's dating other dudes, and those dudes was lying to her all those times when he's on working later. I was like, this is not an office job though. Yeah. I was like, shorty, I work at a restaurant. Niggas say that they can't come to work every day. If I want to make some bread and I'm not working, I'm going into work. Yeah. Because I want to make some bread. I want my check to be a little bit extra this week for whatever reason. So that was that moment. There was something else that happened, and we got into another big argument. And the second time that we got into the argument, mind you, we had, it's almost embarrassing to say how long we dated. We literally dated like a week. Because this happened within the span of a couple of days. Like, this is how bad it was.
Oh.
This is how bad it was. But I also, I cut stuff off at the house. I don't play. Yeah. So, she, like the second time it happened, she was just like, she said something. She was like, fine, you want to break up with me or something? And I was like, aight. Oh, wow. And she didn't expect that. So for the next couple of hours, there was a lot of angry texts, a lot of angry phone calls, and yelling at me and all this other stuff. We got past all of it. And we really sat back and we talked, because I'm trying to be the person. I am not trying to, if I cut something off with a toxic person, that person wasn't toxic because of me. So I don't have to take the responsibility of trying to help them. But if I feel like I would like to try to help them not be as toxic, I'm going to do so. And she was somebody that I said, I see the value in you as a person. So a lot of dudes won't entertain this whole conversation. Gotcha. I'm going to go ahead and entertain this. And I did. And we had conversations. And eventually it really developed. She's, like I said, she's a good friend. Okay. She's really, really cool. There's not any, I don't spin the block a lot. So there's no.
Unfortunately, I've been through a lot of spin the blocks. Yeah,
there's not a lot of there's not a lot of Uno reversing happening with me, bro. I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not doing it. Yeah. However,
Rebecca was like, everybody spin the blocks come along you, like everybody want to come back around. I'd be like,
I don't.
They just want to always text, "What's up?" And I'm like, whoa.
Once I'm finished, I'm finished.
I need to take that off.
However. There's levels to it. When I say I'm finished, I mean on a romantic level. I don't have to not speak to you anymore. Okay. If you hit me up, the minute that the conversation starts going this way, yeah. That's not what this is.
I see.
We homies now.
I see.
Whether you cut it off or I cut it off, we're homies now. We keeping it here. Yeah. Even if I find myself wanting to go into that realm. No, discipline, my boy. What? We're not doing this. Oh, wow. We're not doing this because that's ultimately not what you want. So don't start feeling like maybe this is what I want, possibly because you feeling vulnerable and lonely, or because you want to get a nut, or whatever the reason is. I'm just keeping it being like there's a lot of reasons why niggas is spinning the block. Like sometimes there's a lot of dudes I know don't even like the chick. They just like, yo, but the sexual chemistry was good, and it's just like, yo, the head was really good, and it's like, fam, you about to mess up somebody else's emotional situation.
That's what I'm trying to tell y'all.
Like, niggas is trying to learn and trying to grow and all that. You stunting their growth because you trying to get some head? You sound crazy. You sound crazy, bruh. Like, niggas gotta relax.
I can really go off on this topic. The thing is, though, like, I had to really tell a few guys, like, when they will come back and start texting me, I'm like, yo, you don't like me, so why are you, like, why are you doing this? I'm like, that's not true. I like you, blah, blah, blah. That's my annoying male voice.
It's hilarious. That's how men sound to you?
Yeah.
Oh, no, not true. I still like you.
I'm like, shut the fuck up.
We do sound some goofy dudes.
For real. Anyway. I'm not trying to bash man.
I got
this on the first episode. I'm not trying to bash man.
You don't have to try to bash man. I'll do it. Niggas is trash, big.
And my homegirl was like, she's screaming like, yes, bash them niggas.
Bash them niggas. I'm not mad about it. I'm never gonna bash women, but I'm also never gonna be mad at women for bashing me. Do you know the type of stuff that we put y'all through for generations? I get it. I don't think that it's right to just now give every man that, but I also understand why niggas just give every man that. Like, we really be out here doing the wildest stuff. The only thing that's important is that people also just understand that there are a lot of women that also do the same thing. Like I just told you,
that's
like
true.
my homeboy just like, yo.
I'd be so surprised that there's crazy women sometimes, because I just feel like, yo, men be wildin', and then I be like, wow, crazy, you really go through that?
There's crazy women.
I be like kind of oblivious to the things women that we do.
That last story I told you, there were a lot more details that I left out that people would look at me and be like, yo, that chick was nuts. I'm sure you would say that. I don't think she's nuts. She was emotionally damaged. She went through a whole lot.
That's true.
Because then she even kept me up to date with this other dude who she dated after me.
Yeah?
And he really mistreated her, like really badly. Like one time she called me crying and she was just like, yo, like I'm so hurt. Like this dude really, really like tried to. She's like, I'm happy that I left him. Whoa. Because I already wasn't in the right space. She told me a bunch of times that she went back and told her mom, like, yo, I really messed up with Corey. And I was
you really want to spin the block?
No, but that's because that's not where I am. That's not where I am.
She messed up though.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm not gonna bash
somebody saying that about me. I really messed up with Corey.
I'm not bashing it. Like I'm not gonna bash her for it. I'm just one of those people that's gonna look at it and be like, it is what it is. Like I can't change that, and I'm not. The same way that people get damaged is the same way that people go through certain levels. Like, is this certain levels of trauma?
Yeah.
I don't want to try again and have a trauma response with you because of the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And not to say that it's gonna happen,
that's
but a smart, emotionally aware and self-preservation tactic is to make sure that you don't put yourself in similar situations. So I'm not about to do that again, knowing that you may not have you ain't go to therapy, so you're not fully healed. How do I know that? You know what I'm saying? That you're not about to take something out on me that this nigga did, because I decided to spin the block, but I did it after this nigga already messed you up more. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason I wouldn't. It's still a beautiful, beautiful person. I love the few conversations we had. I had started this job once. I left that place, but I had started this job, and she had just shot me a text because she had seen me. I said something about it. Maybe I said something to her about it. I don't know. Well, she had asked me a question. That's what it was. I congratulated her on her job, and told her I was like, yeah, I'm in the same boat. I just started this new job, whatever. And she just congratulated me. I told her the day I had started, and she shot me a text, and she was like, hey, like, good luck, I hope everything works out. And that was it.
That's nice.
And I was like, I love stuff like that. I don't got no problem with that. But I really try to leave people better than they were when they met me.
Yes.
I try my hardest. Cool. I really do.
That's really thoughtful of you, though.
I mean,
because look, men
be getting me messed up.
Men can't help themselves when it comes to like just basic ass things, but
I don't know how that sounds. That has to sound crazy to anybody else. That sounds nuts to me. Men can't help themselves when it comes to basic things. Like you go, what does that even mean?
It's just like a different like communication level that men and women have.
I can roll with that.
Yeah, that's
to a degree. I can roll with that because I meet a whole lot of women that are horrible communicators.
Okay.
Horrible.
Okay. I won't fight you on that.
Like horrid. Like just bad. Like this one girl, I had a conversation with her once, and I was just like, "Why are we talking on the phone?" Always I love talking on the phone. Talking on the phone, and I was just like, I hate talking on the phone.
What?
I only hate talking on the phone because, to be very honest, most people are horrible at talking on the phone. So then I'm saying, people are horrible conversationalists. They really are.
I've never heard that before.
People suck at conversations.
Yeah.
And people suck at conversations and then get on the phone. So yeah. Nigga, what do we get off my phone? Yo, get off my line, bruh. Why you wasting my time? This is This is such a waste of my time. Yo, by the third time, if somebody goes, so, yeah, you know, just, like, you don't really got nothing to say.
Call for some reason. That's what you're saying?
I'm saying call, and when you call, keep the energy of a conversation.
Got you.
You got to be good. And if you're not good at conversation, especially over the phone, that's fine. But people do it, and people say that because they don't want to get texts. And, oh, I hate texting. You don't hate texting. You don't. You just like in-depth and deep conversation. Just make sure that you know how to provide that, because you're requiring that. That's all I'm asking.
The last dude,
niggas don't know how to do that.
Talking about him, but he hated he hated being on the phone, and he hated texting.
I don't. You see, now that's weird to hate texting and
hate. Along with
like
this Pokemon shit. Sorry.
I don't have a problem with texting. The only reason I prefer texting, the only reason I hate texting, or not hate texting, the reason I prefer texting. At least when I was working at an evening restaurant, when I was working at a evening job, I preferred it because I knew what my mornings were like in compared to other people who worked in offices. Okay. So I was like, you got to be up and out the house by like 8:30 so you could be at your job at 9. Mm-hmm. I'm making myself breakfast by 9 o'clock. You can't be on the phone while you at work having a conversation with me, and some people can, but you know, a lot of people can't. Cause you at work, so just shoot me a text. I can text you all morning, but then by the time you getting off of work, I'm going into work. So now I can't be on the phone. Yeah. So because of stuff like that, and then it's just like, all right, well, what about your days off? Well, if I have a day off and you have a day off, why are we calling each other on the phone? Meet me somewhere. I would much rather see you. I would always much rather see somebody than call them on it. That's, yo, like, it's sometimes to me, I get a little weirded out. People, I love talking on the phone. Like, my nigga, you were not in high school. Like, I know you got mad stuff to do. I know you have stuff to do. Like, in high school, niggas had time because they didn't have nothing to do. You ain't had no business. So, of course, you're going to be on the phone for hours. I can't be on the phone for hours. You know how many different things I want to do? That one girl told me she didn't want to date me because of it. Like, I got mad stuff I want to do in my life. I can't just be sitting here for 2-3 hours talking about, not for nothing.
I love those conversations.
If I can sit here for 2 or 3 hours with you and not talk about nothing, and I can physically see you, let's just do this over food. Yeah. And going, and if you not hungry, cool. Let's go for a walk. Please, let's just do something else, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And I don't got no problem traveling. That's also the thing that people need to understand for me. Yeah. I live in Jersey City. Oh, you in Newark? Yo, I'll get on a lift and go over to Newark and meet up with you so that we can sit there and hang out. What are we doing? Yeah. What are we doing? You living in Manhattan? Like, cool, let's do that. Like, I don't got no problem with it. Yeah. If it's in the middle of the afternoon, I'm not sending you no lift home. Like, it's not super late. That's really expensive. It's not super late, and the freaking train works. Like, I told you. But if it's, I mean, if we start a date at 8 o'clock, you know what I'm saying, and we sitting there, we laughing and joking, we enjoying ourselves, and then we go for a walk, and it's 11. Like, my nigga, like, I'm trash if I don't put you in a lift home. No matter where you live. Like, I have to factor that in before the date. So, just a real quick deviation. Ladies, please stop changing your locations if it's not real. I'm tired of. I'm so tired. I'm so sick of this.
I changed my location once or twice. Only because I wanted to see.
Yo, I started vibing with this chick.
I just wanted to see.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. That's fine.
What?
This chick, I was vibing with this chick for like an hour.
Where was she?
This chick lived in Baltimore, Maryland, and said she lived in Brooklyn. And I sat back and said to myself, what was the point? Because I knew it when she said something. She had sent me a voice message on Hinge. And I was just like, yo, her accent is thick. I was like, well, where do I know that from? And then I heard her say two. And I said, oh, I know where you from. Two, nigga. Like, yeah, nigga. You are from Baltimore. I was like, I know it. So I was just like, yo, before I even told her I knew, I was like, mind you, again, this is like 2-3 days ago.
Oh yeah.
This is like 2 to 3. It's like 2-3 days ago.
Oh, we recent now.
This is super recent. But I had called her, and the Hinge call part it's weird. Like that joint don't always work.
Sound maybe muffled for some reason.
Yeah, it's mad weird. So I was just like, hey, look, I was trying to do this so that you feel safe enough to not. Well, you don't have to give me your phone number. I was like, but if you feel safe, like hit me with your phone number. You know, like we can call from there. Yeah. So I called her and I said, hey, just know I'm not always. I was like, I like our conversation, so I'm taking a chance. I honestly believe that you would give me good conversation because I typically don't just like jumping into phone conversations with people. I was like, but I also wanted to get in a phone conversation because I wanted to ask you straight up, like, where are you from? I was like, because I can almost guarantee you from Maryland. And she started laughing, and I was like, I know I'm not slow. I was like, so how long have you been in New York? And she started laughing again. And I said,
she OD'd.
Oh.
She ain't have to OD like that.
And she was like, well, I'm in Baltimore. And I said, oh. I said, all right, well, let me just ask you a question.
I was going to say that I was in London.
I was
just
like,
see.
I've had, look, a day before that, this chick hit me up on a different app. The app Black.
How many apps you on?
Only 2.
Black is cool.
Black is really good. This chick lived in the Dominican Republic.
Oh, she's trying to get the green card.
I said, what the hell why are you hitting me up?
Trying to get green card.
Yeah, but you also said that you lived in Chelsea, Manhattan. Like, my nigga, that's a lie.
She didn't even have to do that.
That's a lie, bruh.
Chelsea?
So I was like, get the heck out of here. But, so I asked her. I was like, let me just ask you a question. I said, say that you and a guy match up and y'all really connected. I was like, what happens in that scenario? And she was like, well, I can take a trip to him. He can take a trip to see me sometime. And I said, all right, that's cool. I was like, that's a good start off, possibly, if y'all are down for the long distance thing. She's like, oh, like 2 or 3 hours away. I said, yeah, that sounds crazy to me, but all right. I said, what happens when things start getting deeper? I said, I was like, and this person doesn't want to do long distance. I was like, y'all not going to be able to do long distance forever and be in a relationship. Yeah. I was like, what about if he don't want to move? Are you willing to move to where he's at? And she starts laughing and she's like, no. I was like, this is the only issue that I have with people changing their location. Because, and I'm telling her this, and I was just like, this is the only issue I have. I was like, people change their location, but then you're not willing to even go. You're not willing to move. Yeah. So if that's the case, and a lot of people, they always give me the same reason why the options that are bad where I'm at. I get you, but whether the options are good or not,
they a little rough.
I heard. But whether they're good or not, the ultimate focus is if this goes the way you want it to go, and goes to a deeper place, you're not prepared for that now. Yeah. You prepared to just stay where you are. Well, if that's the case, what makes you think that this person wants to uproot their life and just leave everything to come over to where you are? Yeah. Because not for nothing, no disrespect to nobody in Baltimore, ain't gonna ever be no way. KB, ain't gonna ever be no way. I'm gonna meet a chick and leave New York, New Jersey, tri-state area to live in Baltimore, Maryland.
I was gonna say, you have left before.
I have.
Okay.
That was also the scenario was different there.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I'm saying? Because she was new to Atlanta. She had only been there like 1 to 2.
They're new together, sort of like, yeah.
She had been there, I think, like 2 years when I moved out there.
Oh, gotcha.
But the thing is, because this was the place that made her feel like, oh my God, this is the first time that I feel home. She was an Army brat. She moved around a lot. This is the first time I feel home, and this is the first location that she chose for herself. So she was just like, I love this place, and I didn't feel right pulling her away from something like that. I was just like, I'm never gonna stop loving New York. I can leave and come back if things don't work out. Which I also told her when I first got there. I said, yo, just so you know, I'm keeping it all the way a buck. Like, if this don't go well, or we break up for whatever reason, I was like, I like Atlanta. I was like, I'm not staying here. And it's Fila. forever, I love Atlanta. I really do. I would like to buy a house out there and just kind of have like a space I can go to at time to time. But I don't want to live 24/7 in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's just not my. It's not my vibe. A lot of things are too far. There's way too many hills. Like this is a lot of. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, let me go back and hit it.
So, hopeful thing. How do you stay hopeful while being
because everybody's not the same. And all of my bad experiences are, one, I'm not alone in them. There are tons of women that I have conversations with about dating. It's just like I dealt with the same thing from this dude. Like, you know, so it's not like what I'm dealing with is some anomaly. Like people are just bad at dating these days. People are way more.
Theory.
What's your theory?
It's not that dating is trash. It's that we're dating we're not dating right.
Yes, because I was thinking about that when you had hit me up to do this.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, yo, like it's really weird because my perspective has changed. Because I remember both of us was on it. It's like, yo, dating is trash. Dating is trash.
I remember.
And I was just like, yo,
as we grew up.
right? My nigga. But it's not so much that like you said, it's not the dating is trash. I kind of picked it up also from this. I don't follow a lot of dating experts, but this woman was also a psychologist. It's a black woman. I forgot her name is. But she's a psychologist and she's a dating expert. And she told somebody asked her a question and she said, "Look," she said, "the problem isn't dating apps. The problem is y'all don't know how to properly vet people. So the problem is y'all are letting anybody into your dating space when the issue isn't so much that the dating or the way that you're going about dating, the apps or in person." She's like, people fail. She's like, just understand it. She was like, you've met people in person and dating, and it didn't work out because you're single still.
Yeah.
And you never once sat back and said, meeting people in real life is not the way to do this. She's like, you know why? Because it's not the route that you're going. It's the people. And it's because you don't vet people properly. And I was like,
that's true.
So, nigga, people really don't vet anybody.
I'm telling you.
So it's I
picked up on that.
I think it's just more beneficial these days to make sure that, you know, the people that you're looking for are people who really want the same things that you want. Yeah. And but that's also a hard issue.
Why?
Because there's a lot of people that don't know what they want.
Okay, so then this is my theory about women, because I know that we can come off as like we don't know what we want.
Yeah, I know that's not true.
Yes.
You know a lot of women that know what they want.
It's just that we experience what we think we want, and we change our minds all the time. So that is my theory on that whole
thing. And here's a fun fact.
What?
Guys do that all the time.
Huh?
Guys do that all the time.
Exactly.
I told somebody before, I said, there's no possible way. I was like, I'm not sure what God everybody believes in. You know, you gotta be for real these days. But God, just as a whole.
Yes.
If you I was like, if God literally gave us every single thing that we asked for, God would be the most inconsistent God in existence.
Yo, you really have to experience it. Because
we change our lives. We change our minds. Yo, we'll want something so bad, and in a year be like, I would never want that. And it's like, nigga, you wanted that last year. You a liar.
That's why I say, like, going out there and dating is the most best advice I can give someone. Yeah. So you can figure out what you ultimately want. So
and
it helped me out a lot because I thought I wanted all these type of things, and then you actually go out and get those type of things. You're like,
I don't want this. This is whack.
No, forget it.
I've dealt with the same thing.
It's so crazy that I had to like literally date to find that out.
Yeah.
Because like I always say, KB dating is totally different from like when she started dating in the beginning.
That's a fact. Now, I believe it.
I'm like so much better, and I want to be like, you know what? Let me actually pay attention to stuff.
But that's also because you know yourself more.
Yeah.
You've listened to yourself. You've paid attention, like you just said, to the stuff that you like, the stuff that you don't like. But then it's also about, at least to me, creating hard lines for certain things. There are going to be certain things that I'm not budging on this, bro. Like you can do this, and I might be flexible here. I'm not budging on this. For a lot of people, it's a bunch of different things. For some people, it's a physical thing. For some people, it's a financial thing. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not. Other people, they can do whatever they want. I almost bypass anytime I see a chick, if she does not say anything about working or I'm a student.
For real?
If you a student but you don't got no income, I can't do it.
Oh,
I'm working.
You gotta have to,
I'm working.
Have something going on.
There just has to be finances coming in on your end. There has to be. There has to be.
I understand.
Because like, what are we doing? Like, we have to be very real. Like, we have strong demands about a lot of different things, forgetting that on a general scale, most Americans are lower middle class. Most of us are broke as hell. We don't have money. So if you meet somebody that's making a little bit of bread, I only recently found out that in the past 2 years working in restaurants that I make more money than teachers. I didn't even know that. And that broke my heart because I was just like, I'm not saying that I should be making less money. Let me keep my money. But teachers should be making more money. I also learned that I make more money than the SAG-AFTRA people. Junk is crazy to me. I'm just like, like these people, like people are broke. So because of that, there's a lot more broke people than we think there are. Because of that, there has to be a certain fine line or hard line rather for the financial conversation. Yeah. But you have to stick to those guns. I can't be mad at a woman that's just like, unfortunately, you don't make enough money for me. I got 3 businesses. I'm successful. I got my degree. I got all. I'm sitting back going, I get it. Like you want to do this in your tax bracket. I can't be mad at that. You have desires that you want that I'm not gonna be able to fulfill, and I might mess around and try to gaslight you and make you feel like you don't need all of that stuff. No, nigga, this is stuff I want and I earned it and I can get it by myself, but I'd like also to be connected to somebody who I can get that type of stuff for and who can get that type of stuff for me. And if you're not that dude, that's cool, but you're gonna have to leave me alone. I respect that. So, I respect that. And because of that, I'm sitting back going, I may not have the bread to go into the club and just throw them out.
No one should be doing that anymore.
Nobody should. Like, that's crazy to me. However, I mean, look, sometimes these strippers is working their way through school, so somebody gotta fund it. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I ain't never been to a strip club, so I can't even talk about it. But because I've never had the desire to go to one. Okay. I don't like the concept of the illusion when you go into a strip. I always feel that's an important message for people to know. There are a lot of guys that don't want to go to strip clubs. Like, it's not all of these niggas are sitting back. I have probably one of the nerdiest, weirdest desires. Like when it comes, like, I'm gonna get married. What's your bachelor? Bachelor party. Bachelor party. Yeah. What's that gonna be like? Like, y'all want to know. Like, nigga, it's a bunch of niggas sitting around playing Mario Kart and Smash Brothers and junk like that, and kicking, just kicking it, bruh. Just enjoying, because you're not gonna necessarily be able to hang out with all of these guys all the time the way you will once you get married. So let me just have a big. It don't have to include stripper pose and smacking booties and like, we don't gotta do all that, bro. Like, I don't got nothing to do with that. It's just, that's just me. Hard line that I do have is, look, I don't have all of that stuff, but I have my own place. I got a job that funds that. Yeah. I get that you work. I get that you're going through school, but you may not have money to do anything. Okay. Because I have to take care of my responsibilities and my freedom and my enjoyment. I can't always now prioritize my responsibilities, some of your responsibilities, my enjoyment and your enjoyment. Like, I can't.
Did you recently learn that, or you've always felt this way?
I've always felt this way, but I've recently learned it a lot more dating, because I've had conversations with.
So this sounds like something like put together. Like...
Well, no, it's just I've talked to some women who didn't work, and I was just like,
you ain't working.
And when I say talk, I don't mean like we was.
But they ain't working.
We had conversation. Yeah.
So.
Sponsored by H2.
The last story you want to tell is the one you recently felt for someone. I've been waiting for this story the whole time, actually, because when I asked the question, like, "Oh, tell us a story you felt for someone and they didn't feel the same for you," and you skipped right over this one.
I did. Well, because it didn't completely go down the lane of, at least as far as I know, of you felt a certain way about them and they didn't feel a way about you. This person made it seem like they did. And there were just certain things that sometimes I feel like it was up in the air. So I didn't really know. And because of that, I can't just firmly be like, this person wasn't into me. Because I feel like if I've played around with the possibility multiple times of going to them and saying like, yo, I just need to know, like, were you into me during this time? But there's also a part of me that feels like it's not that it's too late because me and her still have conversations.
Okay.
But it's just something that's just like, yo, like I don't know. Like sometimes like I'll have days I'll wake up and I'll just be like, nigga, I just need to find one other person to like take my mind off of this person. And then other days and I'm just like, nah, I kind of really want to try to see. I'm hoping, and it's hard. It's hard to get past that. But we had a really we had a great first date. We were running late, and she only recently told me that my response to her made her feel really really comfortable because she suffers a lot with lateness and everything like that. But she was just like, yo, like I told her, I was like, yo, it's fine. Like the restaurant ain't going nowhere. Like we aren't in a rush.
Yeah.
Like I'm cool. You do your thing. Like just kick it. I'm here for you. So I'm not, like we're not the rush to get anywhere. If it turns out that, I'm already a very easygoing person. Like I believe in a plan, but I do not believe in rigidity for a plan.
Yeah.
So if it turns out that you just like, hey, look, like we had a plan, this fell through. The restaurant maybe the kitchen closed 10 minutes ago or whatever like that. All right, cool. Then we'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a late night restaurant that's open. There's gonna be if not, and the best thing that we can find is a bar that sells food.
Oh my
We
God.
could just sit there and sit at the bar and talk and have food or like that.
I love bar food.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of places got some fire bar food.
Between that and diner food, dreams.
Diner food is good too. But so we finally did. We got to the spot and we having a great time with hanging out. It wasn't that far from my apartment.
Okay.
And she was the one. She had drove out to where.
And she drove.
Yeah, she drove out to her like to the spot that.
Ain't she a dream? She drives.
She was doing some work. She was doing some work for this this event space that she has. So we drove from there. I mean, after we left the restaurant, we drove there and we drove back here.
Okay.
And we just sat in my we just sat like
the
in
little
the parking
courtyard,
lot.
something ish, yeah.
And we just sat up there, and they obviously weren't going to tell us to move because I live here. And we just sat and we talked for like it had to be like an hour.
I love those. I'm sorry.
I ain't trying to win a bunch of extra points right now.
Oh, because she might see this.
No, it's not that. No, I'm just saying with other people who hear this and go, "Oh my God!" I'm just saying this because this is what happened. But we were talking.
I see what you mean.
And she was, she had on some shoes and everything like that. So I was just like, "Would you like a foot rub?" While you, so I'm sitting there rubbing.
Foot rubs lead to things. Okay.
They do, but I mean, it wasn't gonna do not in the front seat of her car. Like in the middle of my apartment complex. Like
on topic, but I had a foot rub last summer, and I never experienced it before, but I know why it leads to things.
It's all 100%, especially if the person knows what they're doing. But so we were sitting there talking, and it was a great time, and all of this. The ending night kiss was like
perfect.
It's great.
See, that's what happened to me the other night.
But then it got really complicated from there. And I am somebody that is firm on my belief that if you are engaged with somebody that starts to feel like you are doubting yourself about different things, then it might be a smarter decision to disengage and assess. And I will say that I did not disengage immediately, which I think is one of the reasons why I dealt with so much confusion and so much heartbreak. I can't put it all on myself. I do feel like
this is a recent heartbreak.
Yeah,
okay.
this is the like I do believe that there was a certain level of responsibility of just being forthcoming with certain things that I feel like she didn't necessarily land on perfectly.
Wow.
You know, but she's dealing with a lot, you know, so like, you know, she's a single mom. She had a kid. She's trying to, you know, maneuver through that. She has a really, really demanding job, and then she still wanted to do all of this creative stuff outside of that. So, you know, it wasn't.
Oh, she is a dream.
She's great.
Yeah.
Like even now,
she's doing
like
all
I'm such a cornball. Like she's super great. And if you know, if the opportunity ever presented itself where she was like, "Yo, I I really want to try to make something happen," I can't just say that I would just be like, "Nah," because I tried. And
so you'll
like,
spin the block for that?
Possibly.
Girl.
This is the only reason, though.
See, it's all about who you spin the block for.
Yeah, but it's also about the connection. This is somebody that, as I mean, getting to my nerdy bag a little bit. This is somebody we had a full on debate, almost like argument on the phone once
with her
about Harry Potter houses. And I was just like, my nigga, like,
wow. She's great.
But it led to like
I like her. Like, I don't even know her.
Yo, like I described to the other people, and they was like, "Yo, this chick is great." I described it to my ex girlfriend. She was just like, "Yo," I was like, "I know." Like, I described both of them to each other, and they was just like, "Yo, I really like her." This is the thing, though.
And she's okay with you being friends with her ex.
Yeah, she's a grown up. Like the adults.
I really hope you guys end up together.
Nah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if she wants it. I don't want to put no hope out there that somebody else doesn't want. So I would love that.
That's deep already, but go ahead.
But this is also.
I don't want to put hope into something that nobody else.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm the only one that wants the hope, and you know, I'm sitting there like, I hope we end up together. If you don't want that, why would I hope for that? Like, that's not. I don't want to hope for something that you.
That hit
want.
me like a ton of bricks right now.
That's hurtful. I feel like that's a waste of time, and it's a little hurtful for you. But I will say, I had in the past couple of months, I had set up a couple of different times that we were supposed to meet up and have dinner and stuff, and there was just a lot of cancellation, and it joint really hurt. And then at one point, she had posted on her story, "Hey, anybody that's been trying to link up with me, you know, if you don't mind spinning the block, I'm down for that." So I was just like, "Oh," so I tried again.
What?
And it still didn't end. And it's
directly indirect.
I didn't know if it was just, I mean, she said it wasn't just for me. So I actually even started the conversation like that. I was like, was that message for like was I included in the people that you wanted? Because I knew you also wanted to spend time with your friends and that you probably didn't get a chance to link up with. Like, was I included in that? She was like, yeah. I had initially sent all of these messages because I just had mad questions, and she didn't read everything right away. And I sat with it, and then she hadn't read them, and I went back to to Instagram, and I just unsent all of them because I was just like, you know what, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
like it doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to explain yourself. It doesn't matter at this point. So I'm gonna fall back. She doesn't. She'll know this now, but she doesn't know that whole part of the story yet. But that part really hurt me. I've even told her before that, like, I was like, yo, I'm really actually, I find myself envious of your friends. And she was like, why? I was like, because they get access to you that I don't have. And that
coming through real hard though.
Yo, I was just like, yo, I really like at times, like I just want to spend time with you, and I see you outside with your friends, and I don't get that time. I was like, I'm not mad at it because you enjoying your time with your friends. I was like, but I'm a little envious of it, like, because I would like for some of that time to be for me as well. I would like you to carve out time the same way that you carve out time for them. Now there's a lot of moving parts to that. She, you know, that I'm sure she'll say that, you know, like, No, she's not necessarily carving out the time or anything. I don't know. All I know is that's how it felt for me.
Wow. So you
And
learned through this process about what?
from this one, I really learned that when somebody starts, because that even like when she first started off the whole thing of like, I'm not sure if, like, yeah, I think I told you that part. Like we like everything started to get a little strange. Um, and when she was like canceling different things because she didn't really have a lot of time. And then she hit me up and was like, yo, I'm not sure if I'm ready. Like, you are very ready for a relationship and marriage and a future. And she's like, I'm not sure if I'm ready for all of that stuff. And I didn't realize it until I started engaging with somebody that was ready for that stuff. It didn't register to me how not ready I was. And I think a lesson for me is just learning, like, when people tell you stuff like that, you kind of have to roll with that and immediately pull yourself away from it. Even if you stay friends with the person or whatever, but on an emotional level, you have to separate it, because if you don't, you are going to set yourself up for so much heartbreak, and you are going to be hurt. And I mean, I'm even in this story, I'm hoping my focal point isn't to try to villainize it, because I don't want to. Because another thing that I learned from that is, even with those scenarios, like, you don't have to make a person a villain because things didn't work out. Even if somebody broke your heart, like, it didn't work out. It's not like she ever talked down to me. She ain't never disrespect me. She ain't never talked crazy to me. Or nothing like that. It was just like like, I'm trying to make plans. They don't seem to be working out. All right. I would tell her consistently, I blame myself, because I keep stepping to you, making plans, then they don't work out. I get disappointed. You didn't come to me. Now there was one time, a while ago, like sometime last year, like the end of last year, when I was, because I started talking to her around like October. And I said to her at one point, I was just like, she was going through something crazy, and she had just texted me and was just like, hey, I just want to thank you for really, like, holding me down and being there for me during this really, really crazy time. And I was just like, yeah, it's not a problem. She's like, if there's anything that I can do for you. And I was like, honestly, I was like, all I really want is more of your time consistently. Wow. And this was before, like, all of the cancellations and everything. This was like this was preliminary still. This is like only a month afterwards. But I was down bad when it came to down bad. Not really down bad.
I want to ask you a question. Does timeline mean anything to you? Like, does it, like, do you think about, like, oh, by 6 months you want to be here? If you really are into the person?
Hell no. I don't care about none of that stuff.
Yeah. So if you're into them,
if you know, okay,
you know.
Because I was about to say, there's a lot of women that say, like, nah, like, when a man knows, he knows. I'm not necessarily big on all of the generalizations. That chuck is stupid. Like some guys know, some guys don't. Some people are just stupid. I will say person, because that's a men and women thing too. Like, I'm super anti gender roles and gender what's the term, like, gender assumptions and
cool.
Yes, like, I'm not with all of that. Like, everybody's different. Like, people are gonna be different. It's like, as weird as it sounds, it's like sex.
Okay.
Like, some people can be like, yo, I'm great at sex, and then you have sex with this person, it's like, yo, I'm really great at sex, and then you have sex with this person, and the vibe ain't there because you're not doing the thing that they want you to do, and it's just like, now you feel like you're terrible at it. Everybody's different. Everybody is not going to be the same. You can't put the same type of vibe into every single person, because it's going to be different, person by person. But I will say, a person that knows what they want is 100% gonna go after it, and the timeline doesn't matter.
I feel a little bit better,
at least to me. There's people that
everyone's different, yeah.
Well, I've met some people that I was just like, I'm gonna take my time with you, only because I don't really know much. Like, you're not really giving me a lot. And then there's other people that it was just like, yo, like, I'm big on vulnerability. If you are ultra vulnerable to me, I mean, with me, and I don't mean like you got to tell me all your deepest, darkest secrets.
No, I know what you mean.
But you're just not. I can tell you're not hiding things, and you're open, and as time progresses, you're willing to get more and more open. If I know that you're that type of person because I'm that type of person, the timeline almost starts to be completely non-existent. Hold up. Are they here already? It's on the way. It'll be here in like 10 minutes. That's crazy. We got food. Jamaican food, jerk and chicken, Jersey City. That just fire.
Love it.
But yeah, like, so the timeline isn't really, like something that I'm super hard, like hard pressed for.
Is there anything else you want to like? Any other lessons you learned through this dating you would like to address?
Communication is a very big deal. People suck at it. We have to learn that.
And then learn your communication style too, though, by the way.
Yes, learn your communication style. Learn the type of way that you want people to communicate.
And attachment style.
Attachment style, definitely. Yo, hold up.
Oh, we gonna go into the attachment style thing?
Nah. I'm gonna get this quick, like 3-second rant off. Yo,
this is your
I don't know if the guys do it.
What?
I don't know if the guys do it. Ladies, do not go on these dating apps. And when they ask you your love language, you write all of them. Stop it. Everybody is all of them, but there are literal.
That makes no sense.
There are literal different.
The top two
percentages.
Yes, there's the top two. Then you have the rest that comes.
Because everybody is all of them. Everybody likes words of affirmation. Everybody likes gifts. Everybody likes for you to do things for them, but it all depends on how big of a deal it is and how little of a deal it is.
That's true.
It's not. I'm like a 10% out of 100 on I forgot what the proper terminology is that they use. But like
you don't know
when somebody's doing people doing things for me.
Acts of service.
I do not. Like, I will do everything. I don't care. I don't need that.
Hospitality.
I'm also not crazy. Like, not that I don't like gifts, but that's not the way to win me over either. But somebody like I'm a physical touch person, and again,
man.
Because that's what I was about to say. Touch. That's what I was about to say. Because I see a lot of women that say physical touch too. I need everybody to understand what physical touch is. Please, it has nothing to do with sexuality or sexual like touching. It can, but that's not what it is. Physical touch is just a person. I'm a very touchy person. I am I don't do it to a lot of women because this is the world we live in. But like if I'm at work and I have like guy coworkers, like I'm always gonna be, yo, bro, you good, and I'm like touching their shoulders. I'm a touchy person. I like hugs. I like all of that. If I'm in a relationship with somebody, so I'm bald, rubbing my head. I love stuff like that. That's what I'm looking for when it comes time to the physical touch thing. Hold my hand in public. I'm big on PDA. If we out and we waiting in line at a restaurant. You want to give me a little kiss? You want to kiss up on my neck?
I guarantee.
I'm with all of that.
95% of men love physical touch for the top two.
But that's the thing. There's a lot of women that I see that put physical touch too.
Really?
A whole lot.
It's the bottom.
Oh, a whole. And I understand that because there's some people who's just like, and honestly, I get a little off put sometimes by that.
Why?
Because I know I'm such a touchy feely person. If I meet a woman and she just like physical touch is literally like bottom two for me.
But
then I'm sitting back.
This is the thing when you adjust. This is when you adjust to things. Because if I know something about you and I know physical touch, this is something I work towards and do more physical touching towards.
Gotcha.
I know that about you. Because like my godson, he's very much into physical touch. So I know that about him. So I hug him a lot. I hold his hand a lot. So it's an adjustment. Yeah. So that's what I know I can do.
But I'm also
so that's more of a I'm also knowing who you are type.
I'm also big on words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Like huge. Like building me up. I need to feel confident. Not because of the weird manosphere, like, oh yeah, I gotta conquer the world. Like, nah. I like the idea of somebody believing in me.
Yo, that's
so much without
deal.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, yo, if you are constantly building me up and just saying all of the right build up things to me, I'm just like, bro, like I'm yo, anything you want in this life, I got you. Because I don't feel like I can do anything because of that. But
no, as a creator, we need that.
Yeah, it's a big deal. But it's so I'm big on physical touch. I'm big on words of affirmation. And I'm like, okay, if I'm not mistaken, quality time and words of affirmation were both the same for me.
Okay.
As far as the percentages, and then a little bit less than that was physical touch, and then the bottom two were acts of service and gifts.
Okay.
But quality time is also another thing, and I think that
quality time. That's
that also attributed a little bit to the whole heartbreak moment, because it was just like, well, all I'm trying to do is get some time with you, and it's a big deal for me to spend time with you. I can't properly feel like I'm bonding with you if I'm not spending no time with you.
Yeah.
So I really want to see you, and again, that's also possibly plays into why. Like I couldn't care less about a phone call, but like seeing me face to face is a huge deal for me.
FaceTime counts as quality time for me.
FaceTime does not qualify as quality time for me. For me, I get, if it does for you, I get it. I ain't trying to hate. But yo, people be on some like, yo, like just FaceTime me. Like, sure, I'll do it. I ain't got no problem with it. But of course now I gotta freaking make sure that my phone is charged up, because FaceTime just be killing iPhones.
It kills your battery.
And I'm just like, yo, you know what? You also at home not doing nothing, and I'm here not doing nothing.
I was always supposed to try. Okay, I get
you
it.
ain't. I ain't got it. The funny thing is, I'm that guy. Like I'm really with it.
Yeah,
so when women say stuff like, "Oh, so I'm just supposed to come over there," no. I will come to you.
Yeah.
And if neither one of us feels comfortable, because this is brand new, and having the other person in our space, because again, contrary to popular belief, I know that there's a whole lot of dudes that's out here that's just like, yo, trying to get this chick over my crib. You not coming to my house, I just met you. You must be out your mind.
True.
Outside of your mind, this is my safe space. You think I'm gonna let anybody into my safe space? You out your mind. You out your mind, bro. I've done it one time my entire life.
Yeah.
During this whole dating process, where I took somebody home after the first date.
Wow.
It's the first time I ever did it, and I promised myself I was never gonna do it again.
Okay, so you learned from that.
It wasn't a bad experience per se.
Uh-huh.
I hope she don't watch this. She slept a lot.
Okay.
A lot.
Okay.
Like she kept going to sleep here. And after a while, I was just like, I feel like our sleep schedules is. It's not even I need you to get out, because it was also a wild time, because it was what's the name? It was a snowstorm.
Okay.
And I was just
kind of stuck here.
She was kind of stuck here, but I was just like, yo, like every couple seconds you going to sleep. Like
she probably was tired.
She might have been, because there was a lot of activity. There was a lot of activity, so I understand why niggas was tired. However, it is what it is. But after a while, it's just like, all right, like my nigga, like wake up, like we do activity, and then niggas watch a movie,
okay,
and then she go to sleep. No, she
fell asleep again.
Activity, fall asleep. Wake back up, yo! Like I was gonna let you chill. Like you, alright? Yeah. You want to watch a movie? Yeah, let's watch a movie. Watch a movie.
Activity.
Watch a movie. Fall asleep.
Oh.
Wake up. Activity. Fall asleep again. And I was just like, yo! Like I said, there were a few moments of activity. Okay. There were a few moments of activity, but just know every single moment of activity followed another nap. And I was like, yo, this is...
You tiring her out.
Nah, but still, this is a lot.
That's a lot of activity in a day.
Maybe.
You was walling out.
Nah, I was normal. That's how I am. This is also... That's another important thing, though, to know. Like, everybody is not an active person.
True.
I'm a very active person.
True.
I get very what's the Kevin Gates song? I don't get tired. Like nigga, that's where it go for me. So because of that, I need somebody that matches that, and that didn't match. Okay. And I think I said that to her. I kept it. I tried to keep it as a buck as possible. Okay. With that, with that scenario, but it was a lot, yo. kept going to sleep. Excuse me, and I was just like, yo, like.
Have you thought about the question you want them to ask themselves while they're dating?
I want people to ask themselves, am I ready?
What?
Not just from a stance of emotionally. Do you have enough time to commit to this?
Oh, that's a good one.
Do you actually want this? And what I mean by actually want it is there have been plenty of times that I've started having a conversation with somebody and I just said, you know what? I don't think I want to date this person.
Wow.
And I'm glad that I realize this now instead of when a date comes, it's probably the food. Hello?
Break for food.
Hello? You all set?
I think I hear them up there.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're eating.
Now we're eating. And yeah.
Food.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This went through all afternoon. Okay. The question you had for other people.
Oh yes. So are you prepared? Are you ready? Are you are you taking a proper assessment of the time that you have to date? Your actual desire to date, if you even want to, because people are allowed to change their mind. Yeah. But you also have to realize that you are dealing with a completely separate person with completely separate emotions from you. So if you change your mind and you don't communicate that this is no longer what you want, yeah, that's on you, because this person doesn't know that. This person is thinking that everything is all good. And you have to be aware of how you communicate that, depending on how deep everything started to get. You start having somebody, like, you're not in control of that person's emotions or that person's feelings. However, if we now started really vibing for the past like 2 months, and you decide this is not what I want, and just go, yo, I'm not with it. Don't think that that person's just going to be able to shut it off. Like it may have been easier for you to shut it off, but it's going to take a little bit of time for that person. Even, I mean, it may not, but it might. And if it does, like, you have to be able to at least be considerate of that, because y'all were just building towards something. Yeah. But that's really it. Just ask yourself if you're ready, because I just notice a lot of people aren't actually ready, and they pretend like they are because I think everybody wants love.
It's true. I go ranting about how much people want love.
A lot of people want love, and I understand why. Love is, when you feel like when you feel that moment, and when you're actually in love and you in a solid relationship, that joint. My boy told me the other day.
I haven't been there yet.
My boy, did I say this on camera or off camera about his marriage?
He said it on camera.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't. He told me the other day. He was like, "Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie to you." He was like, "This might not have been the right person." He was like, "But bro," he was like, "being married feels phenomenal."
Really?
He was like, "I don't never want to be in the streets like this again." He was like, I would love to find somebody else." He was like, "I'm hoping I can find if I,
But he got 4 kids though.
You know what I'm saying? That makes everything a little different. You know what? Apparently,
4 kids.
The only type of women that would really date him. Well, let me tell you something. Just bigging up my boy for a quick second, because he got and his situation was crazy. Because she did that.
Are they black?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
She didn't work for the past 6 months. So, this scenario might be crazy because I think she follows me, and she might see this. I don't care. It is what it is. But I don't care. It is what it is, bro. Like, you shouldn't have done that. Like, what you want me to do? Nigga, I'm not in charge of your decision. You did that. And I'm not the only nigga talking about it either, so it is what it is. Okay. But yeah, she wasn't working. So it was just like, yo, like, and the only reason I bring that up is because there are so many women, and let's not get it misconstrued. A lot of men would love to be in this scenario too. But there's a lot of women that you hear these days that's just like, yo, I would not mind, being with a man that's paying all of the bills, and I don't gotta do nothing but take care of the house.
That's a lot of work.
It's a whole lot of work. You know what I'm saying? But she was in that scenario, and then still like dumped on it. So I'm just like, that also just like people have the conversations where they just like, yo, don't think just because a woman has all of these different things that a man don't cheat. That's 100% true. Like, just because you are loving, and you keep yourself looking right and all of it. He will, if he wants to cheat, he's gonna cheat. But it's the same scenario when it comes to this. Like, all right, cool. So I don't put my hands on you. I don't talk down to you. Like, I don't mistreat you. But then on top of all of that, we have a family. I provide every single thing that we could need for our family. And then on top of that, give you bread to just do you.
Yeah.
And you still leave, which proves that this is more of a personal thing than it is necessarily than a general thing. Like, oh, well, a man will still cheat. Yeah, I mean, yes, like there will still be a man that will still cheat. But instead of making it super general, it's about that person. Yeah, well, a woman will still leave her family. I mean, yeah, but let's not talk about this on a general scale. Let's just say, that there are going to be situations that you can do something, and if you're with the wrong person, that person is still going to be the wrong person and still ruin everything. It's still a possibility. So just saying that to say, a lot of the time, I think a lot of that stuff is very, like, we've stepped away from making things a person to person basis and interpersonal, and we've gotten into a place of just making it very general, and men are this way and women are this way. And I was like, none of us, like, we can't we can't be out here like being hypocrites, because black people love to say stuff like the black experience isn't monolithic. Like, all right, cool, so all of us aren't the same except when it comes to dating. Then all of a sudden, all women are the same, all men are the same. Like, all right, my nigga, like, it's one or the other. None of us are the same. We're all different people. We're individuals. Yeah, except when it comes to your dating life. All of a sudden now, all of these people are the exact same person.
Look how much we grew up. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a fact. It's a fact.
We grew up so
much.
It's
a fact. We was toxic.
I never thought of myself as toxic.
Yeah, we was toxic. No, I mean, we wasn't toxic, but we was like, whatever the pre-toxic is, we were that. We was minor. We were susceptible to toxicity. Let's say that.
Now we're better. Now we know that things aren't what they seem. Yeah, no.
I got more grace for women. I understand. Like,
I do have grace for men to a certain point.
Well, I got grace for everybody to a certain point, but I think I understand a lot more that there's a lot of weird things that happen. There's also a lot of weird things and a lot of hurtful things that but yeah, just learning that people are different and everybody's not the same, and as time progresses, you learn more and more about it. You're more understanding about it.
Yeah.
I can tell you this. I'll tell you this.
And you end on this?
These weird, don't these weird narratives that we create about the opposite sex or the person that we're dating, because it's,
I like where this is going. Go ahead.
Spectrums when it comes to gender and sex and everything. But these weird narratives that we create are literally only through our own learned experiences. And we have to remind ourselves of that, because if we don't remind ourselves that these are through these experiences, we will start to perpetuate the same echo chamber statements that everybody else makes, where they say,
I really try to avoid it.
This is it. And it's just like, well, that's not it, but that's your experience. And that doesn't diminish your experience, but that also doesn't mean that your experience is the general rule. That doesn't happen to everybody. It happened to you, and it sucks that it happened to you. And I'm glad that you can see it and hopefully try to change it so that it doesn't happen to you again.
So, yes.
But that does not mean it's going to happen to everybody. So don't be miserable and tell all your friends that it's going to happen to them.
That's why when
ladies and guys, because dudes be doing that crap too. Nah, son, that chick, shut up, bro. Shut up. She cheated. Your girl cheated on you. My girl is not like that. You flashed your money and you look like a trick. That's your fault. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. You was tricking.
So, yes. So that's the point of like telling the stories and then telling your experience and what happened to you, because not to like generalize, like it happens to everybody. And that's why I keep saying, like, would you learn from that?
I appreciate it,
because everybody feels like they are, because we have this social media thing and we have this microphones and we feel like we have this authority to come online to say things without saying, this is what I experienced and this is how I handled it, instead of generalizing, that you should do this. Point 1, point 2, point 3. Like, that's why I like to be like, this is like kind of like a journal for me. This podcast is like a journal for me.
I'm with it.
It's like
super
more of like,
too.
It's more of like asking yourself healthy questions and try to get to this. And that's why I felt like you was a perfect person to tell your review, because I know you've been going through the dating stuff also. So.
And let me not roll my eyes. It's actually been very fun. It has been very fun. There have been some down moments, but for the most part, I've actually really enjoyed myself.
Yes.
I don't necessarily like the idea of
keep going out on dates.
Consistently going out on dates, paying for dates, and then they end up really trash. But that also, like, I'm a gentleman, so I'm gonna pay. But
right, like, stop. Anyway, I'm not even gonna go down that road.
Yeah, nah. hey, look. I need niggas to know something. Hold on. I know I was gonna end on that, but hold. I'm not. I'm a gentleman. I don't believe in gender roles.
Okay.
I'm also not super opposed to the concept or the idea when people do the whole 50-50 thing.
Okay.
I think all of that stuff needs to be talked about.
Okay.
You need to know the kind of person that you're dating too.
Okay.
There are a lot of women who date dudes who are into the 50-50 thing, and they're trying to change that guy out of that.
Oh, no.
Don't do that. There's also a lot of dudes who date girls, and they go, I'm not really into all of that. And the guy is just like, but you should be. Don't try to change her mind either, my boy. Like, she don't want this. So either pay for the meal and suck it up, or don't date her. Either one of those scenarios are a good answer for you.
Yeah.
But people just like to complain because they hoping that they can change this person because they're super attracted to the person or whatever like that. So they just like, let me try to mold you into the type of person I want you to be, as opposed to let me find somebody that actually fits the mold, who's equally as attractive.
Yeah.
But also people don't want to go off of equal attraction. People just like, but this is the best looking person. You're like, yeah, but none of y'all ideals match. But they're the best looking person, so you're just gonna go with them because they're the best looking person. Like, that junk is so weak.
Looks are very subjective. So.
Looks are super subjective.
So I just want everybody to know that too.
There's mad women that find ASAP Rocky ugly.
Okay, so my
Rihanna
view of that.
Rihanna doesn't, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
But
there's something about him. I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, a lot of women think he's really swaggy.
It's the New York thing.
That's my boy. I love ASAP Rocky.
The New York swag, it really comes through. I think that's what it was about him.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I've had conversations with women that were just like, he's not attractive. And I was just like, I get it. But again, my only response to that is, but you don't have to find him attractive.
Yeah.
Rihanna had 2 babies with this boy. Yeah. She don't care.
She really don't care.
The stance that you have and the standards that you have are not her standards. So the things that you say he's not attractive for are not the same reasons that she would look at attraction. She doesn't care about that stuff that you care about. And none of us should be basing anything that we have off of somebody else. That's the whole point to that, because we do that a lot. Our friends don't think this person's attractive. You just not gonna date them.
That's why I was gonna go next. I was gonna go there next, but I'm happy you did that. What your friend finds attractive, let them find it attractive, okay? And I'm talking to my friends. Let me be.
Yo, she got a personal message for y'all niggas.
Let me be. Thank you. Okay.
Hey, girl, he ugly. Nigga, you don't gotta date him. Who cares? I don't care that you think he's ugly. This nigga has a great personality. I find him attractive. I want to date him. Let me date him.
Let me date him.
We be losing out to a lot of y'all friends. Y'all gotta stop.
Yo, and oh my God, I came up with that assumption recently about like the way we date, thinking about our friends too. Yo, that hit me like a ton of bricks.
Does this person match the vibe of my friends?
Nah,
bruh. I don't even think about that. I ain't gonna hold you. So I don't care. I love y'all.
I had to stop thinking that. I had to stop really thinking about the friends and if they fit in that type of vibe.
That's a fact.
The only thing I think about is like more of like, if I like them, you know, if we vibe, do I see myself fitting in that person's life?
As long as you're respectful, it don't matter to me. Like, if you're a respectful person, but my friends don't necessarily like, not even dislike you, but just don't take to you like that, it's fine. As long as you ain't disrespecting them and they ain't disrespecting you, who cares?
That's true.
A lot of stuff sometimes things can grow as time progresses, and then if they don't, they don't. Who cares? It's just going. Y'all just won't be friends. Y'all will be acquaintances, and that's fine with me.
Yeah,
You don't.
yeah.
I'm not marrying y'all. I'm marrying
True.
this person. I'm not marrying y'all. Y'all are my friends already. Y'all already gonna move heaven and earth for me, nigga. I want to date this person. I don't want to date y'all.
Keep your opinions about how someone's spouse or mate looks. Thank you. And I'll end on
Facts.
that.
Facts. Big.
Thank you for being on here.
My pleasure. This is always a good time.
This is always a good time. I still have footage from the last time I recorded.
Hey.
I didn't even know what to do. It was so good. I was like, what to do with all this?
I freaking love it.
I was watching one and I was like, yo, Corey went off on this one point. Okay.
Yo.
I had to so much. But anyway.
I freaking love it, man.
From where we recorded, what was that, a year ago?
Mm-hmm.
To maybe. Now, 2 years?
It's 2 years. This is like it's 2023. It was like the first year I moved in here.
We recorded 2 years ago that I never really put out that content. But from 2 years ago to now, we're like adults in dating right now.
We've grown up.
We're adults
like
now.
10 years.
So we look at dating so differently now, and I'm proud of us.
That's a fact.
I'm proud of us.
Nigga. I'm 100%.
So yeah, this is another episode of Tru Self, and his question again is:
Are you prepared to date? I'm sorry.
Are you prepared to date? That's his question. Think about that, and I always encourage people to like journal also. So
write down your feelings.
So, write them down. Get it out.
And fellas, feel your feelings.
I'll end on that.
Yeah.
Bye.